This is release question number 18 for Cahsee Math. Number 18 says that Sally puts $200 in a bank account. Each year the account earns 8% simple interest. How much interest will be earned in 3 years? Let's underline these three things here. This right here, I'm actually going to circle them. This right here, this represents what is called in the banking world the principal. So this is the principal. This is the rate of interest, the rate. And then this right here is the time. And there is a very simple formula that relates all these together. So that formula is this: interest, I, equals principal times rate times time. And so I like to think of it as I party, and then that helps me remember. That's my mnemonic device for this, I party, and that's the equation that matches up with interest. So I stands for interest, P for principal, that's 200. The rate, that we need to write as a decimal, so that we need to change to a decimal. So what is 8? Well, I do a little bit of side work here. So 8% as a decimal, we have to move it 1-2 spots. So this would become 0.08. So that's going to go in right there. So this would be 0.08, and then times the time, times 3 years. Alright, what are we going to get there? So this is the rate. Let's just make a little note of that. So that came from there. So hopefully you notice that this is all multiplication here. 200 times 0.08 times 3. The nice property about multiplication is that it doesn't really matter what order we multiply things in. If it's all multiplication, we could start with this. So 200 times 3 would be the same thing as 600. And so 600 now times 0.08, the same thing as 200 times 3 times 0.08. And then this, if you're not sure what that is, we could do some longhand multiplication here. So this, I'm going to write without the 0 out in front there. That's okay to do that. This would be 0, this is 0, and this is 48. And I know looking at the next line it's all going to be 0, so I'm not even going to bother with that. I see that there's 2 whole places to the right of the decimal total up here. Nothing with 600, but 2 to the total, or 2 to the right total with the 0.08. And so total over here I should have 2 as well. So this would be 48.00, or in other words, just plain old 48. So I could write it like that, but since I'm talking about money, I'll add the cents in there as well. $48 would be my final answer for this one. So choice C, don't forget this equation. This equation is vital. You're going to have to know that equation for the Cahsee to be successful on a simple interest problem like this.